Chosen one, listen carefully. Heaven has paused the noise around you so that this message can reach you clearly. You are not reading these words by accident. This is a divine interruption. God Himself is summoning your attention because your rise is already written, and it will shake the very foundations of those who once doubted you. For years, you've walked through seasons that felt like silence from heaven. You wondered if you had been forgotten. You questioned if your prayers had dissolved into the air, unanswered. But what you didn't realize was that your silence was divine strategy. Heaven was not ignoring you. It was forming you. You were being shaped in obscurity so that your unveiling would carry the fragrance of heaven. Every tear, every quiet surrender, every moment you chose to keep walking instead of giving up, those were not wasted. They were investments into your future glory. You were not buried, you were planted. You were not overlooked, you were preserved. God hid you from the wrong eyes so that when your moment of manifestation comes, no man will be able to claim credit for what heaven has done. Listen, chosen one. Your story is not over. In fact, it is only now beginning to unfold. You have been through valleys so deep that you thought light could never touch you again. Yet here you stand still breathing, still believing, still chosen. That resilience is proof of your divine selection. Ordinary souls break where you endured. There is something inside you that refuses to die because the one who called you has already declared the ending from the beginning. Your rise will not be subtle. It will not be quiet. It will not go unnoticed. It will shock your family, confound your critics, and silence the voices that said, "You'll never make it." Because when God lifts someone, no human hand can pull them down. Heaven is not asking for permission to bless you. It is announcing what has already been decreed. But before the elevation comes exposure, before the manifestation comes motion, you must move differently now. Heaven is watching how you respond to this word. Will you believe it, or will you delay it by doubt? You have walked through enough pain to know that you can trust God even when you cannot trace Him. Do not let unbelief delay what is ready to arrive. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 27, verse 13. I remain confident of this. I remain confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. And so, this is your moment of decision. You can either continue hiding in the shadows of fear, or you can step boldly into the light of destiny. Heaven has already said yes. The only thing missing is your agreement. Lift your eyes. Straighten your back. Speak with authority again. You are not broken, you are becoming, and you were chosen for this exact hour. The shaking in your life was not punishment, it was positioning. Everything that was removed was never meant to stay. Every delay was divine timing in disguise. God has been aligning people, places, and opportunities behind the scenes, preparing for your sudden elevation. When the shift happens, and it will feel like overnight success. But heaven knows it's been a lifetime in the making. And those who once whispered behind your back will be forced to testify of the Lord's hand upon your life. They will remember the moments they laughed at your faith, and then they will see what faith built. Chosen one. The world has yet to see the version of you that God has been crafting in secret. But the unveiling begins now. Heaven's decree has been spoken, and the earth must respond. Every door that was closed will open at the appointed time. Every opportunity that seemed lost will return in divine timing. You are stepping into a prophetic fulfillment that will make your very existence a testimony. If this word resonates in your spirit, do not scroll away. Lift your voice in agreement. Type below, "I receive my rise." And if you haven't yet, like, share, and subscribe, not out of routine, but as a prophetic act of faith. declaring that you are ready to be seen in the light heaven designed for you. Your rise will shock your family, not because they were wicked, but because they measured you through human eyes. They saw your past, but God saw your potential. They saw the failures, but God saw the foundation. They saw your weakness, but God saw His strength perfected in it. And when He finishes what He started, they will have no choice but to say, "Surely, the hand of the Lord has done this. The time of hiding is over. The time of silence is over. Heaven has called your name, and earth is about to echo it. You are not behind schedule. You are right on divine time. Step into it." Comment 777 below as your sign of agreement. You did not understand it then, but heaven was protecting you when people turned their backs. The quiet years were not years of punishment, they were years of preparation. You looked around and saw others advancing, laughing, celebrating, and you wondered, why not me? But God whispered to your spirit, "Be still. I am building something that takes longer because it will last longer." You were hidden in plain sight, chosen but not yet revealed. While others were running ahead, you were being rooted deeper. What they mistook for delay was actually divine design. You were never behind. You were being built in silence. Heaven knew that premature exposure would destroy what needed time to mature. The oil upon your life was never meant for quick recognition. It was meant for lasting impact. There were seasons when the silence felt unbearable, when the prayers echoed back unanswered and the promises felt like distant echoes of forgotten words. Yet even in that silence, heaven was speaking. Every closed door, every delayed answer, every invisible victory was part of the blueprint. You were in a sacred classroom where God Himself was the instructor and isolation was the syllabus. You learned endurance. You learned faith beyond feelings. You learned to walk even when your eyes saw nothing. Those hidden years were not wasted. They were divine investment. The anointing you carry now is heavy because it was produced under pressure. You have learned how to worship with no audience, how to believe without applause, and how to trust when everything looked like it was falling apart. Chosen one. Understand this: the hidden season is where your identity was purified. You were being separated from false attachments, from the need for validation, from the temptation to prove yourself. God made sure that by the time He revealed you, you would no longer crave human approval. You would know who you are even if no one else believed it. The world celebrates visibility, but heaven celebrates preparation. You have been in the workshop of the Almighty. He has been chiseling your character, sculpting your discipline, refining your motives. He stripped away what you thought you needed so you could finally see what you truly are, His. There is no platform that can substitute the intimacy you've gained in obscurity. In the secret place, your spiritual senses were sharpened. You began to recognize the whisper of heaven amid the chaos of life. You learned that God's silence is not absence, it is often the sound of construction. What He was building in you required quiet. It required stillness. It required pruning. And while others chased visibility, you chose obedience, and that choice alone separated you. According to what is revealed in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. For everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. This is why you could not force open doors that were not yet assigned to you. It wasn't rejection, it was redirection. The wrong timing can ruin the right blessing. Heaven held you back, not because you were unworthy, but because you were destined for something greater than you could comprehend at that moment. Think of Joseph in the prison, David in the fields, Moses in the wilderness, each of them hidden, shaped in solitude before their divine unveiling. Like them, you have been in your field season, your wilderness, your unseen chapter. But soon, the trumpet of recognition will sound, and those who wondered where you disappeared to will see you standing in the center of God's promise, radiant with purpose. Do not despise the years that felt wasted. Heaven wastes nothing. Every tear watered the soil of your future. Every disappointment carved humility into your heart. Every delay taught you to depend on divine timing instead of human calendars. You are not the same person who began this journey. You are stronger, wiser, deeper, and far more dangerous to the darkness than you realize. The enemy thought the hidden season would break you, but it built you. He thought silence would silence your spirit, but it strengthened your discernment. What was meant to bury you has only anchored you. And soon, when God brings you into visibility, you will not rise as a novice, but as a seasoned warrior clothed in quiet authority. Chosen one, this is the season where heaven begins to shift you from hiding to revealing. The soil is breaking open. The roots are strong enough now. The fruit can finally appear. You have been faithful in the unseen, now heaven will trust you in the seen. But remember this, never despise the hidden years, for that is where true strength is born. The world will see the crown, but heaven will remember the cave. You noticed it first in their tone, the way your family began to question the fire inside you. They smiled, but their words carried the weight of disbelief. "Are you sure this is what God told you?" they asked. You wanted to defend your faith, to prove that your calling was real. But heaven whispered, "Be still. I am your vindication." Sometimes, the hardest battles are not with strangers, but with those who share your blood. They see your past, but cannot yet discern your prophecy. They measure you by what you were, not by what you are becoming. Yet even in their doubt, heaven's hand is at work. For God often allows disbelief around you to strengthen the conviction within you. Do not resent them, chosen one. Their inability to understand you is not rejection. It is revelation. It shows that what God has placed in you is bigger than what human eyes can perceive. Your destiny confuses those who still remember your weakness. They knew you in your immaturity, not in your anointing. And because they cannot comprehend your transformation, they call it pride. You have cried over the words of those you love most. You wondered why they could not celebrate your obedience, why your joy became a target, why your faith was mocked at the dinner table. But listen, every chosen vessel has endured this sacred misunderstanding. Joseph faced it when his brothers sold him. David faced it when his brothers questioned his motives on the battlefield. Even Jesus faced it when his own family doubted his mission. The disbelief of your family is not the end of your story, it is the beginning of your revelation. The same mouths that said, "It will never happen," will soon confess, "Only God could have done this." For every doubt spoken against you, heaven is writing a testimony in response. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Matthew, chapter 13, verse 57. A prophet is not without honor except in his own country and in his own house. You are living proof of that scripture. Your calling was too large to be validated by familiarity. They couldn't honor what they refused to understand. Yet even their doubt became a divine tool, sharpening your focus, purifying your motives, and teaching you to lean on God alone. You learned to build without applause, to serve without recognition, to keep walking even when no one said, "I'm proud of you." And though it hurt, that pain became your teacher. It taught you that divine purpose cannot depend on human permission. When God calls you, He does not consult your relatives. When heaven anoints you, it does not require earthly validation. Your family may not see the oil, but the heavens recognize it. The altar knows your name. One day, their eyes will open. One day, the same people who dismissed you will call you blessed. They will recall the very words they once used to mock you. And in that moment, God's glory will silence every argument. Your rise will not just vindicate you, it will redeem their faith. Some of them will come to know God because of what He does through you. So walk with quiet confidence. You don't need to convince them. Let your obedience speak. Let your consistency preach. The day will come when your story will become their sermon. Until then, love them anyway. Forgive them anyway. Keep walking anyway. The same blood that connects you on earth will become a testimony of God's mercy in heaven. Chosen one, your waiting is not wasted. Every time you chose silence over argument, heaven took note. Every time you blessed those who doubted you, your reward increased. You are not being overlooked, you are being prepared for an unveiling that will silence every tongue. They will watch as God lifts you, and their doubt will turn to awe. Not because you sought revenge, but because you stayed faithful. Your rise will not humiliate them, it will humble them. And in their humility, they will see God's goodness reflected in your life. So do not harden your heart. The same God who called you will also heal the rift. He will turn confusion into clarity and separation into reconciliation. Your story will prove that divine purpose can grow even in the soil of family misunderstanding. Now, as a prophetic act of alignment, comment, God sees me. When you declare those 3 words, you're not shouting at your critics, you are reminding your spirit of the truth. You are affirming that even when no one in your family understood, heaven never lost sight of you. You are saying, I no longer need human validation, because heaven already confirmed my worth. Write it boldly. Whisper it to your soul. God sees you in the hidden corners, in the sleepless nights, in the misunderstood moments. He sees you when you are silent, when you are strong, and even when you are tired. And soon, everyone else will see what heaven has seen all along, that you were chosen not despite your family's doubt, but through it. There comes a time when even the strongest soul bends under the weight of divine transformation. You, chosen one, have walked through that season, the breaking season. It did not announce itself with thunder or lightning. It came quietly, disguised as disappointment, heartbreak, and loss. One moment you thought you had control, and the next, everything you leaned on began to crumble. But what felt like destruction was really reconstruction. Heaven was not punishing you. It was purifying you. There were pieces of you that could not enter the next chapter. God had to break what was built on false foundations so that the unshakable could rise from within. Every breaking had a purpose, every loss carried a lesson, and every tear watered something sacred beneath the surface. You could not see it then, but the soil of your sorrow was producing the fruit of your destiny. You asked, "Why, Lord?" and heard only silence. But even in the quiet, God was speaking through circumstance. You were being stripped of what was temporary so that you could be clothed in what was eternal. He removed people who could not go where you are going. He allowed the disappointment that pushed you to your knees, not to destroy you, but to drive you into deeper communion. You learned through pain that brokenness is the birthplace of anointing. Oil only flows after the olive is crushed. Diamonds only shine after intense pressure. Gold only gleams after the fire. You were not meant to escape the breaking, you were meant to emerge from it purified. And though it hurt, the breaking taught you what comfort never could, that God's strength is most visible when yours is gone. Every sleepless night became a prayer, even when words failed. Every ache in your chest became incense before the throne. You didn't realize it, but your cries were forming weapons of light. Heaven was training you to war through worship and endure through faith. You were being fitted for authority, but first you had to learn surrender. Do not despise what broke you. That pain was your tutor. It taught you discernment, compassion, endurance. It separated the shallow from the sacred. Before the breaking, you prayed for power. After it, you prayed for presence. Before you sought outcomes, now you seek obedience. The breaking season changed your vocabulary. It replaced why me with use me. You no longer crave the approval of people who misunderstood your process. You no longer chase what distracted you from your calling. You have learned that sometimes being broken open is the only way to be filled. The shell of who you were had to crack for the spirit within you to breathe freely. The word of the Lord still stands true. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 34, verse 18. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Those words are not poetry. They are your biography. The nearness of God became most real when everyone else walked away. When you felt invisible, heaven was closest. When you felt abandoned, God was building intimacy. What you lost in comfort, you gained in closeness. What you lost in certainty, you gained in trust. The breaking didn't just strip away what was unnecessary, it revealed who you truly are. Resilient, refined, and ready. Now you understand that blessing is not always wrapped in beauty. Sometimes it wears the garments of loss. Sometimes it arrives through pain. Yet each time you broke, something holy emerged from the fragments. The old version of you had to die for the anointed version to live. The breaking was the burial ground of your ego and the birthplace of your destiny. And though the memories of that season still sting, they no longer define you. You can look back now and see the fingerprints of mercy even in the mess. You can trace the outline of grace in every closed door and painful goodbye. You realize now that God was never trying to hurt you. He was healing you in ways you couldn't yet comprehend. Chosen one. The cracks in your heart are not signs of failure, they are evidence of transformation. Light shines through what has been broken open. That is why you radiate peace now. That is why your eyes carry depth. You've been through what others could not survive, and you came out not bitter, but brighter. Do not be ashamed of your scars. They are not reminders of weakness, but of warfare. Each one tells a story of how darkness tried to break you and failed. Heaven sees those scars as medals of victory, proof that your faith endured. So walk boldly, even if you still carry the ache. You have been refined by fire and proven by pain. The breaking season was not the end, it was the beginning of your unveiling. God does not waste suffering, He recycles it into strength. What tried to destroy you has become the very thing that will distinguish you. There comes a point. Chosen one. When the noise of the world fades and you begin to hear the whisper that has always been calling your name. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand. It simply waits for the stillness, because only in stillness can heaven's voice be heard. You have reached that moment. After all the breaking, after all the silence, something inside you has become tender enough to recognize the sound of divine direction. The voice does not come as thunder this time. It comes as a soft wind that moves through the corridors of your soul. You hear it when you wake at dawn, when your thoughts are unguarded, when the night grows quiet and your heart aches for something more. That is heaven speaking. The wilderness season taught you to listen differently. Now, every nudge, every whisper, every tug in your spirit carries weight. This is how prophets are formed, not in palaces, but in deserts. God trains His messengers in isolation so that when they finally speak, their words are not echoes of culture, but currents of eternity. And you, chosen one, are being trained for such a purpose. The wilderness was your classroom. The whisper is your graduation. Heaven has begun to give you blueprints, ideas, visions, burdens that won't leave your heart. They are not random thoughts, they are divine assignments. You may feel unqualified, but that is the proof that it's God. The Almighty always chooses vessels that feel too small so that the glory can only point upward. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 21. Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." That is the moment you are in now, the walk in it moment. Heaven has spoken, and your only task is obedience. The instructions may seem simple. Send that message. Forgive that person. Start that project. Step out in faith. But within those small acts lies the seed of your next breakthrough. You are being guided by the same voice that carved mountains and calmed storms. Each time you obey, you align with the rhythm of heaven. It's like a symphony, one where your steps become notes, and God conducts the music of your life when you respond to that voice. Even in small ways, you become a light for others who are still lost in their noise. Every word you speak, every act of kindness, every testimony you share becomes a lantern for another weary traveler. That's what this community is, a constellation of lights born out of brokenness, guided by grace. If these words are awakening something in you, if you can feel the gentle pull of heaven inviting you to go deeper, then let your heart respond in gratitude. This message exists not just to inspire, but to sustain, like a lighthouse that keeps its lamp burning through the storm. It stands only because of those who choose to keep the flame alive. So if these words have touched your spirit, I invite you humbly and sincerely to take a simple step of faith. Like this message to let heaven know you received it. Share it so that another wandering soul might hear their name whispered through it. Subscribe so that you do not miss the next divine moment heaven releases through this space. And if your heart feels led, donate not as payment, but as participation. Each offering is a drop of oil that keeps the lamp burning. Think of it as sowing a seed into fertile soil. Your gift allows the light to keep reaching those who need hope, healing, and truth. Every word spoken here carries a cost, but when the chosen ones unite, the burden becomes light. Your generosity becomes a bridge between your faith and someone else's breakthrough. It's like adding another log to a sacred fire. Each contribution makes the flame brighter, warmer, stronger. You're not giving to a screen. You're giving to a mission. You're helping carry the sound of divine truth to the corners of the earth where silence once ruled. This isn't about obligation, it's about connection. The same way a river flows because many streams feed it, this message continues because hearts like yours pour into it. You are part of something bigger, something eternal. The voice that called you in the wilderness is now calling you to keep the light flowing forward. You have been hidden, broken, refined, and now you are being commissioned. The voice you hear is not only for you, it is for others who will one day say, "Because of their faith, I found my way." Heaven's whisper to you will become a shout of deliverance for someone else. So listen, chosen one. The wilderness is behind you. The whisper is before you. Follow the voice, obey the nudge, and trust the guidance. Heaven never gives instructions without also preparing provision. Every step you take will be met by grace waiting in advance. And as you walk this sacred path, remember you are not walking alone. Each like, each share, each seed given in faith connects us all as one family of light, guided by the same divine voice. Together, we keep the fire burning. Together, we walk in it. When heaven marks you, chosen one. It is not a mark the world can see, but every realm can feel it. You carry an unseen seal, a radiant imprint of divine ownership that cannot be erased by failure or fear. There are days you don't feel anointed, days when the battles feel heavier than the blessing, but make no mistake, the seal remains. You have been branded by the hand of eternity. This mark is not decoration, it is distinction. It sets you apart for assignments others cannot carry. It draws you into rooms that logic cannot explain. You wonder why some doors swing open for you and others slam shut. It is because the mark chooses your battles and your blessings. You do not chase opportunity. Opportunity recognizes the scent of heaven upon you. But there is a cost to carrying the mark. The chosen are often misunderstood. The anointing makes you magnetic to favor and also to warfare. The same light that attracts destiny can expose you to jealousy. You felt it, the stares that turn cold, the conversations that change when you enter the room, the resistance that rises without cause. Yet you must remember, this is not rejection, it is recognition. Darkness recognizes the light even when people don't. The prophet wrote in his letter to the scattered believers, in the first book of Peter, chapter 2, verse 9, "For you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession." That verse is not a poetic statement, it is your reality. You are heaven's property, hand-picked and consecrated. The oil on your life is not borrowed, it is branded. And though the process of being chosen often feels lonely, it is proof that heaven has entrusted you with something rare. When heaven marks you, your journey no longer belongs to chance. Every step becomes prophetic. Every delay becomes preparation. Every storm becomes training. What others call coincidence, you recognize as divine choreography. You have seen too many patterns, too many perfectly timed miracles, to ever again believe in luck. You are guided, even when you cannot see the hand that guides you. There were moments you thought the mark was a curse. You looked at others who seemed carefree, unbothered, untouched by the weight you carried, and you envied their ease. But God whispered, "You were never meant for easy, you were meant for eternal." The pressure you feel is not punishment, it is preservation. The oil that rests on your life requires protection. And sometimes, isolation is God's way of keeping the oil pure. Chosen one. This is why you cannot fit in where you used to. The jokes don't sound the same, the company doesn't feel right, and the places that once comforted you now feel like cages. You have outgrown old atmospheres. The mark upon you repels what no longer aligns with your purpose. You were made for more, made to walk differently, speak differently, and love differently. The mark of heaven also carries a fragrance. It's why certain people are drawn to you without knowing why. They feel peace when you enter the room. They feel conviction without you speaking a word. Your presence shifts atmospheres because you carry the presence of the one who sent you. You are a carrier of glory, a living sanctuary. There will be times when the enemy tries to convince you that you are ordinary. He will whisper lies telling you that you are forgotten, unworthy, unprepared. But he cannot unmark what heaven has sealed. Every attack against you is simply proof of your importance. Hell does not fight the insignificant. So, lift your head. You carry something ancient, something sacred, something eternal. The mark of heaven is both mantle and mission. It is the call to live with integrity when no one is watching, to love those who curse you, to serve when no one applauds, to stay faithful when nothing makes sense. The mark is not about fame, it is about faithfulness. And soon, that faithfulness will speak louder than any introduction. The evidence of heaven's hand will become undeniable. doors will open not because you knocked louder, but because the mark was recognized. You will begin to see divine acceleration opportunities aligning, people appearing, resources flowing, all orchestrated by the one who chose you long before you knew his name. The mark is not a burden, it is your invitation into destiny. Walk with confidence, stand firm in purity, protect your peace as a sacred altar. Because when God marks someone, he intends to manifest something through them that history cannot ignore. If this word resonates in your spirit, mark this moment in agreement. Comment 4444 below. That number is more than a symbol, it is a declaration. It represents divine order and heavenly alignment. When you type it, you are not just responding to a message. You are acknowledging that your steps are ordained, your seasons are synchronized, and your purpose is perfectly timed. You are saying, I accept the mark. I walk in my calling. I choose to shine. You are the chosen one, not by title, but by transformation. And your mark is the sign that heaven trusts you with more than most will ever carry. The shift begins quietly. You do not notice it at first, only that the heaviness you once carried begins to lift, that the doors that stayed shut for years now begin to creak open. Something in the atmosphere changes. The winds that once blew against you now seem to carry you forward. Heaven, without warning, has started turning the tables. This is the mystery of divine reversal. What once worked against you begins to work for you. The same circumstances that once embarrassed you now elevate you. The same people who doubted you begin to speak your name in rooms you have never entered. What you lost becomes the platform for what you are about to gain. You are walking in a season where the unseen hand of God is rewriting your story in real time. The tables are turning, not through effort, but through favor. You are not forcing anything anymore. You are flowing in divine rhythm. It is the moment when sowing gives way to reaping, when midnight turns into dawn, when what was hidden becomes visible. You have felt this shift coming for a while, small confirmations, timely coincidences, unexpected kindness from strangers. All of them were whispers of this moment. Heaven was preparing you to receive what you once only imagined. The delay was not denial. It was divine timing. God waited until your character was strong enough to sustain the blessing. The Spirit recorded it through the writings of David in the book of Psalms, chapter 118, verse 22. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. You were that stone, chosen one, rejected, misunderstood, overlooked. People saw your flaws but not your foundation. They dismissed your process because they couldn't perceive your potential. Yet, even in rejection, heaven was positioning you. What they threw away, God preserved. What they abandoned, He anointed. You are about to see divine irony unfold. The very places that rejected you will call you back. This time not as a beggar, but as a blessing. You will stand in the same spaces where you once cried, and this time you will smile. The same voices that laughed at your faith will have to acknowledge its fruit, not in arrogance, but in awe. Because what God is doing now is not about revenge, it is about revelation. He is revealing His glory through your story. The tables are turning, and the shift will be so clear that even your enemies will have to testify. This is the season where private obedience births public favor. You did not compromise when you could have. You kept your integrity when no one was watching. You planted seeds of kindness even when your own soil was dry. And now, the harvest has begun to break through. It will start subtly, one phone call, one opportunity, one open door. But soon, momentum will build. People will call it luck. but you will know better. It is the fingerprint of God on the blueprint of your destiny. What took years to build will suddenly accelerate. Every delay will make sense because now everything is aligning at once. And while others may think it happened overnight, heaven knows the years it took to prepare your heart for this. You will not be ruined by recognition because you were trained in obscurity. You will not be corrupted by influence because you learned dependence in the wilderness. You have been trusted with authority because you proved trustworthy with nothing. Chosen one. You must understand when God turns the tables. It is not just for you, it is through you. He blesses you so you can become a blessing. He lifts you so that others can see what obedience looks like. You will become a living testimony of restoration, a walking prophecy fulfilled. Those who once pitied you will now come to you for wisdom. Those who doubted your vision will seek your voice. But even as the tables turn, humility must remain your anchor. Favor is safest in the hands of the grateful. Do not forget the nights that shaped you, or the tears that taught you to trust. Remember who you were before the light found you. Gratitude will protect you from pride. Remembrance will keep you grounded. And as you rise, move gently. The same people who once hurt you are still watching. Some will repent quietly. Some will admire from a distance. Let your success speak with grace, not vengeance. Show them what divine vindication looks like: mercy standing tall, forgiveness shining brighter than triumph. The story has shifted, and so have you. You are no longer the rejected one, you are the cornerstone, the proof that God's word never fails. Everything that once worked against you is now working in your favor. The storm is over. The wind that once opposed you is now carrying you forward. You can almost feel it, can't you? The air around you hums differently now. What once felt stuck is starting to move. The things that once took years are beginning to align within moments. Chosen one, this is the season of divine acceleration. Heaven has pressed fast forward on the promises spoken over your life. For a long time, you walked through a slow and stretching process. You watched others bloom while you remained underground. You questioned why progress felt like crawling through sand while others seemed to fly. But now you understand God was not withholding from you. He was fortifying you. He was ensuring that when the wind of acceleration arrived, you would not be swept away by it. Acceleration is not just speed, it is precision. When heaven accelerates you, everything begins to synchronize: the right people, the right opportunities, the right timing. Doors open not because of manipulation, but because of divine magnetism. The blessing that once felt distant suddenly lands in your lap, not because you chased it, but because it was always running toward you. You see, there are two kinds of time. There is chronos, the ordinary passing of minutes, hours, and years. And then there is kairos, the divine moment when heaven interrupts history to fulfill prophecy. You have entered kairos. This is not normal momentum. This is divine intervention. The word of the Lord was recorded through the prophet Joel, chapter 2, verse 25. I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. Those are not poetic words. They are a declaration. Every year that felt wasted is being redeemed. Every loss is being rewritten into purpose. Heaven is returning what was stolen, multiplied and purified. You will not merely recover, you will overflow. Think back on all the moments that broke you, the friendships that failed, the dreams that dissolved, the seasons where you thought you missed your chance. All of them are being gathered by God and rearranged into a story of restoration. The delay was not a detour, it was a foundation. While you mourned the lost time, Heaven was storing the harvest. Now, the release begins. Like a dam breaking open, blessings that were held back by divine timing are rushing toward you. But you must remember, acceleration demands alignment. You cannot walk into this speed carrying the weight of what no longer fits. Old habits, old fears, old circles, they cannot run at this pace. The air is thinner at this altitude, and only purpose can breathe here. You may find yourself suddenly disconnected from certain people, conversations, or distractions. Do not resist it. This is heaven trimming the unnecessary to make room for the extraordinary. You are entering a chapter where obedience will matter more than opinion. The window of grace is open, but it requires your willingness to move when God says, "Now." Acceleration will feel unfamiliar. You will feel moments of overwhelm, even joy that brings tears. You'll find yourself walking into opportunities you didn't apply for, conversations you didn't plan, doors you didn't knock on. When that happens, don't second guess it. It's not coincidence, it's compensation. You are collecting interest on every tear, every prayer, every faithful step you took when no one was watching. Be careful not to compare your current pace to anyone else's. This is your moment. God's acceleration for you does not diminish His plan for another. Each chosen one has a unique rhythm, but today heaven has shifted the tempo of your life. You are now moving at the speed of destiny. This acceleration will not just change your circumstances, it will transform your identity. You will look in the mirror and hardly recognize the reflection. The timid will become bold. The weary will become wise. The forgotten will become favored. The transformation will be visible not only in what you achieve, but in who you become. And yet, amid the excitement, remember the principle of stewardship. Acceleration without humility becomes destruction. Do not outrun the one who empowered you to move. Stay close to His presence. Every new level of momentum requires a new level of stillness. Rest is not idleness, it is recalibration. There will come moments when you must pause to breathe, to thank, to listen. In those pauses, the next set of instructions will come. The same voice that guided you through the wilderness will now guide you through the whirlwind. Do not fear the pace. Heaven has equipped your feet for this journey. What once took years will now take months. What once took months will now take days. But the true miracle is not how fast things happen, it's how ready you finally are. Heaven waited for your readiness, not your perfection. You are now aligned, refined, and positioned for divine momentum. The acceleration is not ahead, it has begun. Walk in it with reverence and let every step declare, "This is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in my eyes." There comes a moment, chosen one, when the evidence becomes too visible to deny. The season of being questioned gives way to a season of confirmation. The same people who once dismissed your dreams begin to look again, and this time, they cannot unsee the transformation. You've stepped into a grace that demands attention, not because of pride, but because of proof. It begins subtly, a shift in how they speak your name, the hesitation before they doubt you out loud, the curiosity behind their questions. Your family, once blinded by familiarity, begins to realize something has changed. They can feel it, even if they can't explain it. What they once called luck, they now call blessing. What they once mocked, they now study. Heaven is awakening recognition where there was once resistance. You don't need to defend yourself anymore. The results will speak louder than explanations. You have spent enough time trying to convince those who were never meant to understand. Now let your fruit speak. Let the peace on your face and the wisdom in your words testify for you. God has made your life a mirror. When they look at you, they will see His reflection. Your family's awakening isn't punishment, it's mercy. God is using your story to soften hearts that logic could never reach. The transformation in your life becomes a sermon they cannot tune out. Every victory you experience becomes a seed of conviction for them. They may not say it, but they are beginning to wonder. Maybe God really is with them. You were never meant to prove them wrong, you were meant to show them what grace looks like up close. Heaven's plan was never about revenge, it was about revelation. The ones who hurt you will one day thank you, not because you forced them to, but because your endurance revealed the heart of God more clearly than any words could have. It was spoken in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 13. The Lord will make you the head, not the tail. You shall be above only, and not beneath, if you heed his commandments. You see, chosen one, you never had to fight for validation. You only had to stay faithful. While you were learning to stand still, heaven was fighting unseen battles on your behalf. Every moment you held your peace instead of defending your name. God was writing the script of your vindication. And now, that story is playing out right before the eyes of those who once doubted you. Do not gloat in this season of reversal. Gratitude is a greater crown than pride. When they come to you, whether in confession or quiet admiration, meet them with grace. Let your victory become their invitation. The same family that once misunderstood you will now draw closer to God through your testimony. They will begin to ask questions, not to criticize, but to understand. And when they do, be ready to speak not with bitterness, but with love. Some of them will never apologize directly, but you will know their hearts have changed by how they treat you. A gentler tone, a softer gaze, a willingness to listen. These are the silent apologies that heaven honors most. Forgive even the ones who still struggle to say the words. Mercy will speak louder than memory. This season is sacred. You are witnessing the ripple effect of obedience. Your endurance has become a doorway for your bloodline. The same grace that carried you through the fire will now begin to touch those connected to you, by name and by heart. You are not just rising for yourself, you are rising for your family's redemption. And when the full transformation unfolds, do not be surprised if they begin to ask for your prayers. The one they once called too spiritual will become their intercessor. The one they doubted will become their deliverer. Heaven delights in turning skepticism into salvation. So, chosen one, stand still a little longer. Keep walking in quiet confidence. Your light is already doing what words never could. It's breaking through old blindness. What once looked impossible is now undeniable. Now, if this word resonates in your spirit, make this moment an altar. Comment, "Grace found me." These 3 words carry weight. They are not about pride, they are about gratitude. When you type them, you are declaring to heaven and earth, I didn't get here by my own strength. Grace carried me through every storm. You are confessing that mercy found you in your lowest place and raised you into purpose. It is your way of saying, I am living proof that God's promises never fail. Write it boldly. Whisper it with reverence. Because grace did not just find you, it transformed you, lifted you, and made you the living testimony your family will never forget. You are stepping into spaces now, chosen one, that once seemed unreachable. Doors that once refused to open are now waiting for you. The light around you has changed, subtle yet undeniable. You walk differently, not in pride, but in peace. The favor of God has gone before you, arranging introductions, softening hearts, and aligning circumstances. You are walking under a divine spotlight, not to be glorified, but to glorify. For a long time, you watched others enter rooms that you only prayed about. You felt invisible, as if the world had forgotten your name. But heaven was saving your reveal for the right moment, because premature visibility can destroy what has not yet matured. Now the time is right. The foundation beneath you is steady, the oil upon you is ready, and the world is finally prepared to receive what heaven has been forming in you. Your steps are now guided by grace, not effort. You don't have to chase anymore. What belongs to you is finding you. You have become like a city on a hill that cannot be hidden. It is not arrogance to shine when heaven has appointed your light to rise. What you are walking into now is not random success. It is divine positioning. The Spirit reminds us through the writings of Solomon in the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 16. Your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. That verse is alive in you right now. Your gift, the one forged through fire, refined in silence, is now unlocking places you could never reach by status or connection. Every hidden talent, every uncelebrated act of faithfulness is about to speak for you louder than any resume could. God Himself is your publicist, arranging divine appointments no human could orchestrate. But hear this. Chosen one, with every new platform comes new responsibility. You are no longer representing only yourself. You are representing the one who carried you here. The spotlight is not a reward, it is an assignment. The visibility is not to feed your ego, but to extend His kingdom. Every stage you step on, every conversation you enter, every opportunity that opens, it's all a pulpit in disguise. And when you speak, speak with sincerity, and when you act, act with compassion, and when you lead, lead with humility. And people are not drawn to perfection, they are drawn to presence. They will not remember your titles or possessions, they will remember the peace they felt when they stood near you. That peace is the fragrance of heaven moving through you. As this message finds you, know that this community stands as a lighthouse for many travelers. If what you hear brings light to your spirit, let your gratitude become participation. Like this message, not for the algorithm, but as an act of agreement, saying, I stand in this light too. Share it, like a candle passing its flame to another who may be lost in the dark. Subscribe, so that the next time heaven releases a word through this space, it can find you without delay. And if you feel the quiet tug in your heart, the one that says, I want to be part of keeping this fire burning, then follow that prompting. Donate not as a transaction, but as worship. Every seed you sow is like adding oil to a lamp that helps someone else see. Your generosity is the wind beneath this flame, the unseen force that keeps light flowing through the shadows of this digital world. Think of it like rain watering a field you may never walk through. Somewhere, a soul you've never met will find hope because you helped keep the message alive. You are not just giving, you are joining the mission. You are saying, let this voice keep speaking, let this light keep shining. And heaven always remembers the givers who sow into light. It was never about the amount, it was about alignment. When you partner with the message that lifted you, you become a co-laborer in someone else's awakening. Chosen one. As you continue walking into this new visibility, guard your heart with reverence. Don't let applause become your anchor, let purpose be. Fame fades, but impact echoes. Every kind word you speak, every generous act you sow, every moment you choose grace over pride, these are the true crowns heaven values. You have entered the spotlight of grace, not to perform, but to reveal. Let the light around you always lead others back to its source. Let your rise inspire humility, not vanity. And as you shine, Never forget, even the sun kneels at night to make room for the stars. There will be moments to step forward and moments to step back, but in both, the glory belongs to God. So walk gently in your brightness, knowing this: the same God who raised you up will sustain you. The spotlight may shift, the platforms may change, but your purpose remains eternal. Keep shining, keep serving, and keep the flame alive, for light is the legacy of the chosen. You can feel it, the air has shifted again, not in chaos this time, but in clarity. You are standing in a place that once existed only in your imagination. The wilderness behind you has become a testimony, and now, before you, a table has been set. Not just any table, a divine one. You can almost hear the clinking of cups, the quiet awe of angels, the holy laughter of heaven. Because what God promised is now manifesting right before the eyes of those who once doubted you. For so long, you dined on disappointment. You tasted loneliness, bitterness, confusion. There were nights when you felt like your prayers were crumbs falling from heaven's table. You watched others feast while you fasted, others celebrated while you survived. But now, something has shifted. The famine of your faith has ended. The feast of fulfillment has begun. It is no accident that your table is set in plain sight. God could have blessed you in private, but He chose to do it publicly, not for your ego, but for His glory. The very ground that once absorbed your tears has become the stage of your restoration. Those who whispered in pity will now witness in wonder. There is no need for gloating. No need to prove yourself. The presence of peace around you is proof enough. The glow that surrounds your countenance, the calm in your voice, these are signs that God has fulfilled His word. What once mocked you now marvels at you. The table is not revenge, it is revelation. It reveals who God is, not who you were trying to be. We are reminded through the writings of David in the book of Psalms. Chapter 23, verse 5. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. This scripture is no longer theory to you, it is your current reality. You have been anointed in the very place where you were once afflicted. The oil on your life glistens brighter because of the pressure it endured. You no longer fear the faces around the table. You understand now that your peace terrifies darkness more than any argument ever could. Some of the people who sit near your table will come with curiosity, not malice. They are not there to harm, they are there to learn. They will study how you endured, how you forgave, how you kept faith alive through famine. They will see that success without bitterness is possible, that triumph without arrogance exists. Through your life, they will learn what redemption truly looks like. Others, however, may come still harboring disbelief. They may try to minimize your rise or explain it away, but you no longer need their validation. The proof of divine favor is too visible to deny. The fragrance of grace that rests on you now cannot be disguised or dismissed. When God decides to display His work, even skeptics become witnesses. At this table, you will find not just abundance, but alignment. Every resource, every relationship, every opportunity sitting before you has a purpose. The people God allows near you now are not random. They are covenant connections. Some are meant to feed your vision, others to sharpen your spirit. This table is both celebration and commission. It marks the end of one season and the sacred beginning of another. And though it feels glorious, never forget what it cost to sit here. Every chair was paid for by your perseverance. Every dish of favor was seasoned by your surrender. You did not stumble into this moment, you were sculpted for it. You learned the discipline of trust when there was no evidence. You learned to bless while bleeding, to serve while suffering, to praise while waiting. That endurance became your ticket to this table. Now that you're here, your posture must reflect maturity. Sit with grace, speak with wisdom, eat with gratitude. The table is not just about what you receive, it's about what you give. Some will draw strength simply from watching how you carry yourself in blessing. Let your humility feed them more than your achievements impress them. And remember this, the enemies at your table are not your punishment, they are your audience. They came to see if you would boast. But instead, they will witness your peace. They will see that victory did not change you, it refined you. You will eat beside those who once tried to empty your plate, yet your only response will be kindness. That is the mark of one who truly knows God. This is not just a table of abundance, it is a table of revelation. Heaven has displayed your story as living evidence that the goodness of God endures beyond betrayal, beyond delay, beyond pain. You were not forgotten, you were being prepared for this very feast. And now, as you take your seat, remember that the greatest victory is not the feast itself, it's the fact that your heart remains pure enough to enjoy it. Before heaven reveals you publicly, it crowns you privately. The coronation does not happen on a stage or under lights, it happens in silence, in prayer, in the quiet chambers of surrender. You may not have seen the crown placed on your head, but all of creation felt it. You carry an invisible authority now, one born not from applause but from obedience. It happened when no one was watching, when you chose forgiveness over resentment, when you remained faithful even when nothing made sense, when you gave your best while receiving the least. That's when heaven whispered, "Now they are ready." You were crowned long before anyone could see it. The recognition that is coming is only confirmation of what heaven already announced. For a long time, you misunderstood this hidden crowning. You thought obscurity meant insignificance. You believed visibility was the measure of value. But God was writing your story differently. He wanted to give you a crown that could not be removed by human hands, one forged by fire, polished by tears, and sealed with faith. The word of the Lord declares in the first letter of Peter, chapter 5, verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. You humbled yourself, and now that due time is approaching, the shift will be quiet but undeniable. Suddenly, your name will come up in conversations you did not initiate. Your work will begin to reach hearts you've never met. What once felt like a trickle of favor will become a steady flow. You are stepping into the moment where heaven reveals publicly what it has been developing privately. But remember, chosen one, this unveiling is not about fame, it's about faithfulness being rewarded. The world will see the crown, but only heaven and you will know the cost of it. The sleepless nights, the silent prayers, the tears you hid behind smiles. Every hidden sacrifice was a gem placed into that unseen crown. The crown does not change who you are. It simply exposes who you've become. When people start to notice your rise, remain the same soul who served quietly when no one cared. The crown should never make your head heavy. It should make your heart humble. Because the moment you forget the source of your glory, the shine of the crown begins to fade. This revelation comes with weight. God will begin to entrust you with greater influence, not for recognition, but for responsibility. You will speak, and hearts will shift. You will act, and atmospheres will respond. People will begin to lean on your wisdom because they can feel the oil on your words. You will become a living testimony of what divine promotion looks like when birthed from purity. Do not fear the visibility that's coming. Heaven has already trained your spirit for this. The years of hiding were never punishment, they were protection. You were hidden because your heart was still being shaped to handle what was ahead. And now that your heart beats in rhythm with heaven's, God can trust you to shine without forgetting where the light comes from. There will be new challenges with this promotion. More eyes bring more opinions, but more favor brings more responsibility. But you will not crumble under the weight of attention because your foundation is deeper than applause. Your roots are anchored in the quiet places of prayer and surrender. That's why no storm can uproot you now. When you are finally revealed, some will celebrate you, others will question you, but none will be able to deny that God is with you. The evidence will be too radiant. You will walk into rooms where your spirit is recognized before your name is known. You will carry an authority that cannot be explained but only felt. This crown is not decoration, it's declaration. It declares that you survived what was meant to destroy you, that you stayed soft where others hardened, that you remained faithful when others fainted. You are walking proof that humility still leads to honor, and surrender still leads to strength. So wear your crown quietly. You don't need to adjust it to prove it's real. Heaven has already affirmed it. The light around you now will begin to draw destiny-sized doors to your path. Walk through them with grace, and remember each opportunity is not just an elevation, it's an assignment. And now, to seal this moment of recognition and gratitude, mark your agreement in faith. Comment 222 below. This is not just a number, it is a symbol of divine alignment and confirmation. It speaks of balance, harmony, and heaven's agreement over your destiny. When you write it, you are declaring, I accept my crown. I align with my purpose. I walk in humility and divine timing. You are not just repeating digits. You are echoing heaven's decree over your life. The hidden has become revealed. The unseen has become undeniable. You are crowned, chosen one not for display but for destiny. And as you walk forward, the world will not only see your light, they will feel your transformation. When you finally learn to walk in the light of who you are, something extraordinary happens. Your voice changes. It no longer trembles under the weight of insecurity. It carries the tone of authority, not arrogance. You no longer speak from pain but from purpose. You no longer react, you declare. The same mouth that once whispered prayers in the dark now releases words that shake the atmosphere. This is what it means when heaven anoints a voice. It's not just about speaking, it's about shifting. When you open your mouth now, the air listens. Your voice carries the sound of alignment, the resonance of one who has walked through fire and come out refined. The anointing you carry vibrates through every word, whether it's spoken in a crowd or whispered in secret. For years, you were silent, misunderstood, overlooked. You tried to explain yourself to those who could not see your heart. You were told to quiet down, to shrink, to fit into molds never meant for you. But God was training you even then, teaching you the weight of words, showing you how to speak when it mattered most. The silence you endured was not suppression. It was seasoning. Now the seasoning is finished. The voice that once trembled with uncertainty has become thunder wrapped in grace. Heaven has entrusted you with language that liberates. Your words are not casual anymore, they are carriers of light, designed to pierce confusion and dissolve fear. You are no longer just speaking for yourself. You are speaking for generations, breaking patterns that silence could never heal. The Spirit of God spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 29. Is not my word like fire, declares the Lord, and like a hammer that breaks a rock in pieces? That is what now flows through you, fire and foundation. Each sentence you release burns through lies and rebuilds truth. When you speak, you awaken what was asleep in others. People will not always understand why they feel conviction when you talk, but it's because your words are dipped in divine flame. You have become a vessel of holy sound, and with that comes responsibility. Not every thought deserves your voice. Not every reaction needs your response. You are no longer permitted to waste words. Every syllable now carries the weight of eternity. Speak as one who knows that heaven listens. Declare with precision, because even angels move at the sound of truth. Your voice has been trained in the wilderness to carry authority in the palace. It is the same instrument, but now tuned differently. You no longer speak from desperation, you speak from revelation. You don't need to raise your volume. The oil on your words speaks for you. You have learned that true power is not in shouting louder, but in speaking clearer. This is why the enemy tried so hard to silence you. Every attack, every betrayal, every season of confusion, it wasn't random. It was a strategy to make you doubt the strength of your own sound. Because if your voice ever reached full clarity, chains would break, atmospheres would shift, and strongholds would crumble. And now, that day has come. You are stepping into your prophetic sound, the tone that carries heaven's blueprint for your life. When you speak now, you are not just describing reality, you are shaping it. Heaven and earth respond to the sound of faith. And faith is what your words now carry. You have authority to command peace where there was chaos, to declare healing where there was brokenness, to release hope where there was despair. But remember, chosen one, the most powerful words you'll ever speak are not to others, they're to yourself. The world outside you can only echo the world within. Speak to your soul with the same fire you use to speak to nations. Declare over yourself what heaven has already spoken. Remind your spirit daily, I am chosen, I am equipped, I am sent. Your voice is not just a sound, it's a sword. It cuts through the noise of confusion, not to wound, but to divide truth from falsehood. And when you wield it with wisdom, no weapon formed against you can stand. You are not called to debate, you are called to decree. You are not called to argue, you are called to announce. Every chosen one must one day step into this mantle, the moment when your words carry weight beyond emotion, when what you say begins to manifest in real time. That is where you are now. Heaven trusts you with this voice because you learned its cost. Use it to heal. Use it to build. Use it to bless. When you speak, let mercy be your tone and truth be your rhythm. Let every word you release remind the earth that God still speaks through His chosen. The silence is over. The wilderness has passed. Your voice has become thunder wrapped in tenderness, authority clothed in humility. Speak, chosen one, and let the sound of your obedience echo through eternity. Reconciliation is one of the rarest miracles, the quiet kind that happens. Not in flashes of glory, but in whispers of grace. You, chosen one, are walking into that miracle now. The same people who once caused your deepest wounds are being drawn back toward your light. Heaven is orchestrating a redemption so tender that even your heart can hardly comprehend it. There was a time when their words could paralyze you, when their rejection made you question your worth. You replayed their actions, their silence, their betrayal, searching for closure that never came. You told yourself you had forgiven them, but somewhere deep inside, the scar still ached when the wind of memory brushed against it. Yet God, in His mercy, never wasted even that pain. He allowed it to carve empathy into you, to make room for compassion you did not yet understand. Now, as your rise becomes visible, heaven has begun to soften hearts that once hardened against you. It is not vengeance, it is mercy fulfilling its circle. The same mouths that once accused now speak your name in honor. The same eyes that rolled in disbelief now look at you with quiet respect. Something divine has shifted in the atmosphere. It's the fragrance of restoration. This is not the kind of restoration that simply fixes what was broken. It creates something entirely new. The old relationships cannot return as they were. They will return redeemed. The conversations will no longer revolve around blame, but around healing. The space between you, once filled with tension, will now be filled with truth. And when you stand before those who hurt you, your heart will no longer tremble, it will overflow. The ancient record in the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 20, still speaks as for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it about that many should be kept alive. That scripture, once a story about Joseph, now mirrors your own. The betrayal, the misunderstanding, the isolation, it all served a divine purpose. What was meant to wound you ended up awakening you. Every injustice became the chisel that sculpted wisdom. Every tear washed away what pride had built. God used their rejection as a redirection, not only for your rise but for their redemption. Reconciliation does not erase the past, it redeems it. When you look back now, you will see the fingerprints of God where you once only saw pain. You will realize that without the fracture, the light of transformation could never have entered. The wound became a window. Through it, grace poured in. And now, grace is flowing outward from you to them. You are no longer reacting from hurt, you are responding from healing. When they reach out, you will not need to defend yourself. You will not recount the old stories or reopen the old wounds. Instead, your very presence will testify of freedom. You are not the same person who was hurt, you are the person who was healed. Some of them will struggle to meet your eyes. Shame will hang heavy between you. But your kindness will lift it. Your forgiveness will break their chains faster than any confrontation could. That is the quiet power of grace. It disarms pride and rebuilds bridges without violence. Others may not even have the courage to return directly. They will watch from afar, quietly following your steps, feeling conviction rise in their hearts. That's still reconciliation, it just happens at a distance. Your transformation itself is their mirror. They will see what humility looks like in motion and learn that mercy never expires. Chosen one, you must prepare your heart for this sacred work. Restoration is beautiful, but it is not always comfortable. To reconcile, you must revisit the memories that once bled. You must stand again in places that once echoed with pain. But this time, you will stand different, steady, strong, crowned with peace. When they come back, and they will listen more than you speak, love louder than you remember. Let your forgiveness be the language heaven writes through you. Because sometimes, the greatest sermon you'll ever preach is the one spoken through reconciliation. In the end, this is what your rise was always about. Not just your elevation, but your evolution. God didn't just lift you to prove a point, He lifted you to extend a hand. You are the bridge now, the connection between what was broken and what can be whole again. So when the family that doubted you begins to soften, when the friend who betrayed you begins to reach out, do not resist it. See it for what it is, a divine appointment dressed in human humility. And when the moment comes, let mercy answer. Because in that moment, heaven will look down and say, "This is the purpose of their pain fulfilled. They did not just survive, they restored." Legacy, chosen one, is not built in a single moment of glory, it is woven through a lifetime of obedience. You have come far from where you began. The shadows that once chased you no longer hold power, and the light you carry now spills into every corner you walk through. But heaven's plan for you has never been about personal success. It has always been about inheritance. What you build now will outlive you. Your rise is not simply for you to enjoy, it is the redemption of a bloodline. For generations, your family may have known cycles of lack, silence, misunderstanding, or fear. But you were chosen to be the interruption, the one who ends the old patterns and begins new possibilities. You are the hinge on which destiny turns. Through you, heaven is writing a new chapter for everyone connected to your name. This is what it means to bear a legacy of light. You don't just carry blessing, you carry blueprint. The principles that carried you out of darkness will now become lessons for those behind you. You are the torchbearer, the one who lights the path others will follow. The ancient words still echo from the prophet Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. This command is not gentle suggestion, it is destiny's announcement. You have arisen, and now you must shine. Your glow is not vanity, it is visibility for others who still stumble in the dark. They will watch how you handle favor and learn what faithfulness looks like under pressure. Your life will teach them that true greatness is not about standing above others, but about lifting them higher with you. The legacy you carry is not measured by numbers or wealth, but by the lives you touch. Every kind word you speak, every prayer you whisper, every act of compassion you offer, they become seeds that will outlive your name. Your life is a living vineyard, and generations will drink from the fruit of what you're planting now. And just as vineyards require tending, so does this divine mission. If these words have nourished your spirit, then respond with the same generosity heaven has shown you. Like this message as a sign that you are awake and alive to the calling over your life. Share it as an act of legacy. Let it ripple into the hearts of others who need this reminder. Subscribe so the next message of light can find you right where you are, no matter how far life takes you. And if your heart feels moved to do more, to pour into the well from which you've drawn, then donate. Think of it not as charity, but as continuation. Every offering becomes another flame, another word spoken, another soul reached. You are not giving to a person, you are giving through a purpose. It is like pouring oil into a lamp that never goes out. The more we pour, the further the light travels. Your generosity is not measured in size, but in sincerity. Even a single act of support becomes a spark in the vast network of souls that heaven is weaving together. This message, this movement is a tapestry, and your contribution becomes a golden thread in it. The light you sustain today might be the light that saves someone tomorrow. Remember, chosen one, every harvest starts with one seed. Every transformation begins with one act of obedience. You are proof of that. So as you give, as you share, as you stand in alignment with this message, know that heaven takes note. You are not simply receiving light, you are becoming its carrier. Your rise is not accidental, it is generational. The strength you have gained will become your children's stability. The prayers you pray will become their protection. The wisdom you live by will become their inheritance. You are not just surviving life, you are sculpting legacy out of it. And when history looks back, your name will not be remembered for possessions or positions, but for the power of your faith. They will say, there was one who turned pain into purpose, one who chose light when others chose bitterness. Your endurance will become their encouragement, your faith their foundation. So shine. Chosen one. Let your life be both lighthouse and bridge, guiding and connecting. The time for hiding has passed. The time for legacy has come. Walk as the answer to the prayers of those who came before you, and plant seeds that will bloom long after you are gone. And as you do, take one last sacred moment, breathe, reflect, and comment below what this message stirred in you. Let your words become a small stone in the foundation of this legacy we are building together. Your voice matters here. It is part of the sound of heaven echoing through the earth. Legacy is not a future event. It is unfolding right now, through you. Before the fullness of promise comes the final refining. Every chosen soul must walk through it, the quiet test that heaven designs not to expose weakness, but to prove worthiness. You have reached that narrow passage now. Chosen one. This is not punishment, it is purification. The light around you has grown brighter, and the weight of glory heavier. To carry it well, your heart must be steady, your motives clean, and your spirit surrendered. This final test does not look like the storms you've conquered before. There are no visible enemies, no loud betrayals, no obvious trials. Instead, the testing now comes disguised in opportunity. It whispers. No one will know if your heart shifts a little. It asks, would you still choose humility if applause followed you everywhere? These are the questions of refinement, subtle, silent, sacred. God is watching, not from suspicion, but from love. He wants to ensure that success does not distort what suffering taught you. He wants to see if the same faith that held you through drought can hold you through harvest. The wilderness tested your endurance. This season tests your essence. We are reminded through the words recorded in the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 3. The refining pot is for silver and the furnace for gold, but the Lord tests the heart. You are that gold now, glowing but not yet complete. The flames are not consuming you, they are clarifying you. Everything unworthy of your next level is being burned away. Pride, impatience, hidden resentment, the desire to be seen. Each is being purified in this holy fire until all that remains is obedience. This test often begins when the blessings arrive. The tables have turned, the favor is visible. The crown rests on your head, and then heaven whispers, will you still choose me if comfort replaces challenge? That question is the heartbeat of every chosen one's final trial. Can you stay surrendered when the spotlight finds you? Can you remain gentle when your name carries weight? Humility is not weakness. It is strength wrapped in restraint. It is choosing gratitude when praise could have made you proud. It is remembering that every victory is borrowed glory, every achievement a gift entrusted, not earned. You are not the source, you are the vessel. This truth must become your anchor. For the higher you rise, the more necessary it becomes to bow. Do not fear this refining, beloved. It is not here to break you, but to reveal the beauty already forged within. Think of it as a sculptor's final touch, the careful chisel that turns potential into perfection. You are being shaped for longevity. Many rise quickly, but few stay steady. God desires that your rise endure, that your light never dim because of unseen shadows. The final test also asks another quiet question. Can you bless those who once cursed you, not from obligation, but from genuine compassion? To bless where you were once broken is the highest form of victory. It proves that the wound has fully healed, that bitterness has no throne in your heart. You cannot carry glory with clenched fists. Only open hands can hold divine favor. There will be moments when temptation whispers, you've done enough. You deserve ease now. But comfort is the enemy of calling. You were not chosen for ease. You were chosen for excellence. Every breath you take under this anointing is a reminder that you are part of something larger than yourself. The crown on your head is not decoration, it is responsibility. In this test, your posture matters more than your progress. Heaven is not measuring your accomplishments, It is measuring your character. Will you love as deeply when you have power as you did when you were powerless? Will you serve as passionately in abundance as you did in lack? Those who can answer yes with their lives are the ones who finish their race with joy. And when you pass this test, and you will feel it. There will be a quiet peace, a gentle strength, a certainty that nothing in this world can shake. You will walk lighter, not because the weight is gone, but because your spirit has grown strong enough to carry it effortlessly. Then heaven will whisper once more, now. They are ready. They are ready for greater influence, deeper love, and unshakable purpose. The refining will end, and revelation will begin. You will understand why you had to lose what you lost, wait as long as you did, and walk through fire with nothing but faith to hold. Chosen one, this is your proving ground. Do not shrink back. The furnace is hot, but it is holy. You are not being tested to fail, you are being refined to reign. The gold that emerges from this fire will shine with the reflection of its maker. When this test is complete, you will not need to announce that you've passed. The peace on your face will say it all. There is a stillness that comes after fire, the quiet that follows the storm. You can feel it now, chosen one. The air around you hums with completion, the kind that doesn't shout but settles gently on the soul. You have crossed through the wilderness, endured the breaking, embraced the refining, and now you stand radiant in the aftermath of obedience. This is the rise God promised, the one that would shock even your family, not through arrogance, but through undeniable transformation. You are not who you were when the journey began. The trembling has turned into peace, the questions into conviction. Every step, every tear, every unanswered prayer has built the foundation beneath your feet. Heaven has fulfilled what it once whispered in secret. You have become the living evidence that prophecy does not fail, it only matures. This moment is not about applause or arrival, it is about alignment. You have become synchronized with the rhythm of heaven. What you speak now carries weight. What you touch bears fruit. What you walk into bends to divine timing. The world sees change, but heaven sees covenant fulfilled. The word that now crowns your life is found in the first letter of Peter, chapter 5, verse 10. After you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace, Kuksuts, who has called you to his eternal glory in Christ, will himself restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you. And so he has. The restoration has arrived not in fragments, but in fullness. God has not merely returned what was lost, he has multiplied it. What was once broken has become beautiful. What was once buried now blooms. The years of pruning were not punishment. They were preparation for abundance. Your rise is not loud, it is luminous. You do not need to announce it. It announces itself through peace that cannot be faked, through strength that cannot be shaken, through joy that cannot be stolen. The same people who once doubted you will feel the shift before they even understand it. You have become unrecognizable, not because of appearance, but because of atmosphere. This is what divine completion looks like, not perfection, but purpose fulfilled. You walk now as one who carries restoration in every breath. Where you go, hope revives. When you speak, courage awakens. You have become a vessel of renewal, a walking answer to prayers whispered long before your birth. And though the rise feels sudden, you know it has been years in the making. Every delay was divine design, every detour a disguised direction. The very things that tried to destroy you have now become the pillars of your strength. The enemy's plots became heaven's blueprints. What was meant to bury you became the soil that birthed you. You no longer fear rejection, for it taught you identity. You no longer fear loss, for it taught you trust. You no longer fear isolation, for it taught you intimacy with God. Every scar has become a story, every story a seed, and every seed a sign that nothing in your life has been wasted. Chosen one. This is your prophetic rise. It is not the end, it is the unfolding of eternal purpose. You are now the torchbearer of your bloodline, the one who broke the curse by believing differently, by forgiving deeply, by walking faithfully. You have rewritten history through obedience. Your rise will not just shock your family, it will heal them. The same table that once divided you will become a table of reconciliation. The same name that once carried misunderstanding will now carry blessing. You are the bridge between what was broken and what will be made whole. But with this rise comes a quiet instruction. Protect your peace. Do not return to the noise you were rescued from. Guard the oil you carry. Not everyone can walk with you in this new season. Not because they are unworthy, but because the altitude has changed. You breathe a different air now, an atmosphere of grace, of clarity, of purpose. Walk in humility, but also in confidence. The favor that surrounds you is not fragile, it is fortified. You will not need to chase opportunities, they will chase you. Your only task now is to stay aligned, to keep your eyes fixed on the one who lifted you. There will still be storms, but they will no longer sink you. You have learned how to sleep through the thunder. You know that peace is not the absence of chaos, it is the awareness of divine control. The next time the wind rises, you will not panic, you will prophesy. Because once you've seen the faithfulness of God, fear loses its language. Your rise is not a single moment, it is a movement. It will ripple through time, touching lives you may never meet, awakening courage in hearts that have forgotten how to believe. You are the evidence that grace restores, that pain refines, that faith still moves mountains. And when your family looks at you now, they will not just see success, they will see salvation's reflection. They will whisper, "Surely the Lord has done this." Rest now, chosen one. The battle that once consumed you has become the banner that crowns you. You have emerged not merely victorious, but transformed, stronger, wiser, purer. The prophecy has become presence. The promise has become person. This is your rise. Heaven has written it, the earth has witnessed it, and eternity will remember it. Chosen one, take this moment to breathe. Let the stillness sink deep into your bones. You have walked through every shadow and stood beneath every storm, and yet here you are, whole, radiant, crowned in peace. What was once a whisper from heaven has now become your reality. You are the living testimony that obedience never ends in ruin. Now pause and look back for just a heartbeat. Remember the nights you thought you wouldn't make it, the prayers you whispered when no one could hear, the tears you hid from even yourself. Those moments were not wasted. They were the raw materials of your miracle. Every scar now shines as proof that grace wins every time. If these words have met you in a sacred way, let gratitude become your echo. Like this message, not for vanity, but as a thank offering, a digital amen to the God who never let you fall. Share it so another weary soul may find their own confirmation through your courage. Subscribe so that you remain close to this stream of light, ready for every new revelation heaven releases through it. And as you sit with what has been spoken, let your heart answer back. Comment below what this journey has stirred in you, not as chatter, but as testimony. Someone will read your words and realize that they, too, are chosen. You may never meet them, but your story will become the spark that reignites their faith. This is not goodbye, beloved. This is a continuation, a ripple of divine light that keeps expanding. Carry it forward. Speak kindly, live boldly, shine quietly. The world does not need another voice shouting, it needs your presence glowing. Your rise has begun, and heaven, even now, is applauding. Now,